What if everything you experience, every success, failure, relationship, or emotion, was governed by ancient universal laws, laws you were never taught in school? These laws aren't just philosophy, they're the foundation of how reality works. Hidden in a mysterious text known as the Kybalion, they reveal how your mind, emotions, and choices shape the world around you. Today we're diving deep into the 7 Hermetic Principles, unchanging cosmic laws that can transform your life from the inside out. So what is the Kybalion? The Kybalion is a short metaphysical book published in 1908 by 3 mysterious authors, calling themselves the 3 Initiates, but its roots go far deeper. Its teachings are said to come from Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure who combined the wisdom of ancient Egypt and Greece, a godlike sage who became the symbolic source of all Hermetic knowledge. Hermeticism blends spirituality, philosophy, alchemy, and science, and the Kybalion distills it all into 7 universal principles that explain how reality functions at every level. And here's the kicker. Even if you've never heard of it, you've likely seen these principles echoed in modern psychology, quantum physics, the law of attraction, and spiritual teachings. This isn't just esoteric fluff. It's a roadmap to mastering your mind, energy, and destiny. To truly understand how the universe works, how your thoughts shape your life, how unseen forces move your emotions, and how energy governs creation, you must understand the 7 Hermetic Principles outlined in the Kybalion. These aren't just spiritual suggestions. They're universal laws operating at every level of existence, from atoms to galaxies, from your heartbeat to the movement of time. Let's break down the 7 keys that unlock reality itself. Mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is mental. Everything starts with thought. Your outer world reflects your inner consciousness. Correspondence. As above, so below, as within, so without. The patterns of the universe mirror your inner world, and vice versa. Vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. All matter, thought, and emotion carry energy, and you can shift it. Polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles. Joy and sorrow, light and dark. Understanding opposites helps you find balance. Rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Life moves in cycles. Recognize the tides and you'll stop fighting the waves. Cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Nothing is random. Every thought and action triggers a chain reaction. Gender. Gender is in everything. All things contain both the masculine and the feminine energy. Creation needs both. Let's take a deeper dive into the first 3 Hermetic Principles. Because if you can truly grasp these, your entire life can shift dramatically. These are the foundations of personal transformation. They don't just describe reality, they show you how to shape it. Principle number 1, mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is mental. What does that mean? At its core, this principle is saying that everything begins in the mind, not just thoughts and dreams, but reality itself. Your beliefs, your expectations, your fears. All of them are filters through which you interpret the world. And what you focus on expands. In neuroscience, this idea is echoed by something called the reticular activating system, a bundle of nerves in your brainstem that literally filters what you perceive. Let's say you decide to buy a red car. Suddenly you start seeing red cars everywhere. They were always there, but now your mind is tuned to them. Same happens with opportunities or with problems. If you believe life is against you, your brain will find evidence of that. But if you believe life is supporting you, new paths begin to reveal themselves. The mind is not just a receiver of reality, it's a generator. You are shaping your experience with every belief, every inner dialogue, every mental image. So ask yourself, what reality am I creating in my mind? And is it the one I want to live in? Principle number 2, correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. This ancient phrase may sound mystical, but its meaning is incredibly practical. The outer world reflects your inner world, your environment, your relationships, your career. They're mirrors of your internal state. Have you ever noticed how chaos inside leads to chaos outside? A cluttered mind often lives in a cluttered room. An anxious person tends to attract dramatic relationships. A scarcity mindset often results in financial struggle. That's not a coincidence. It's correspondence in action. Psychology backs this up too. Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." What's unresolved inside of us has a way of projecting itself onto the world around us. So what's the solution? When you clean up your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, your outer world begins to reorganize itself. Want better health? Start with self-worth. Want deeper love? Start by loving yourself more honestly. Want more abundance? Heal your relationship with receiving. Principle number 3, vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This principle bridges ancient wisdom with modern science. In quantum physics, it's understood that everything is energy. Even the most solid objects are, at a subatomic level, in constant motion. But here's where it gets powerful. Your thoughts, feelings, and intentions also carry a vibrational frequency. Low vibrations feel heavy, fear, guilt, anger, shame. High vibrations feel light, joy, peace, love, creativity. These aren't just emotional states. They're energetic frequencies. And they affect what you attract, how you interpret events, and what kind of people you draw in. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the tension without anyone saying a word? Or met someone who seemed to light up the whole space? That's vibration. It's real, it's contagious, and it's powerful. The good news? You can consciously raise your frequency. Here's how. Meditation quiets the lower noise and tunes you into higher awareness. Gratitude instantly lifts your state. Studies show it rewires the brain for optimism. Music, nature, deep breathing, and laughter, they all shift your nervous system upward. Visualization aligns your internal vibration with the future you want to create. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are vibrationally aligned with. So if you want to change your reality, don't chase it. Tune into it. These first 3 principles, mentalism, correspondence, and vibration, are the most practical spiritual technologies you will ever encounter. They don't require belief. They require application. If you start living from these truths, not just knowing them, but embodying them, you will begin to notice subtle shifts at first, then big ones. And soon life won't be something that happens to you. It will be something you co-create, moment by moment. Once you understand the foundational laws of mentalism, correspondence, and vibration, you begin to perceive the hidden mechanics of your life. Now let's explore how you can apply the next 3 principles to navigate challenges, overcome emotional turbulence, and transform your destiny. Number 4, the principle of polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Think of this: light and dark, love and hate, confidence and fear. They're not separate forces, they're the same thing, just existing on opposite ends of a spectrum. Cold and hot are simply temperature variations. Fear and courage are degrees of the same emotional energy. This principle empowers you to shift your experience without fighting against it. Instead of getting trapped in negativity, recognize that you can slide toward the opposite pole. Polarity reveals this truth: you are never truly stuck. You always have the power to pivot no matter how dark things feel. Number 5, the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. Take a breath. Notice how it rises and then falls. Your heartbeat expands and contracts. The moon waxes and wanes, tides crash and recede. This law governs all things, from your emotions to global events. Just as the ocean has high and low tides, your life has cycles of expansion and contraction. Moments of success are often followed by stillness or struggle, and vice versa. But here's the secret. When you're in a downward phase, don't panic. The pendulum will swing back. Rhythm teaches flexibility. Think of it like surfing. If you try to swim against the current, you get exhausted. But when you learn to read the waves, you glide with grace. This principle is also echoed in biorhythms, astrological cycles, and even stock market trends. Understanding the rhythm helps you make better decisions because you stop reacting impulsively during emotional lows and instead wait for the natural return of the upswing. Rhythm doesn't mean we're powerless. It means we become timing experts in our own lives. Number 6, the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. This principle is one of the most empowering and confronting truths in the Kybalion. Nothing in your life is random. Not your relationships, not your finances, not your emotions. Every effect you experience has a cause, often rooted in your past thoughts, beliefs, or actions. This principle is closely related to the law of karma, found in Eastern traditions and even Newton's third law in physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Here's the beautiful part. If something in your life doesn't feel right, you're not stuck with it. You can look at where it came from, understand the lesson, and begin planting something better in its place. If you've been feeling distant or misunderstood in your relationships, try asking yourself, is there a pattern I keep falling into? What kind of energy or emotion am I bringing into this space? When you stop pointing fingers at them or even at yourself and gently take ownership of your part, something shifts. You begin to remember you're not powerless here. You're a creator in this experience, not just a passenger. Studies in neuroscience back this up too. Your repeated thoughts and behaviors rewire your brain through neuroplasticity, essentially shaping your future choices and reactions. Polarity shows you that transformation is always possible. Rhythm teaches you to trust the timing of your life. Cause and effect gives you back your power to create change. Together, they don't just explain life, they give you the tools to master it. We now arrive at some of the most misunderstood yet most powerful principles in Hermetic philosophy. The laws of gender, concentration, and transmutation. These aren't just ideas. They're keys to unlocking a version of yourself that most people never even meet. Principle number 7, gender. The inner balance of creation. Most people hear the word gender and immediately think of biology or social roles. But in Hermeticism, gender is not about being male or female. It's about the two primal forces that shape the universe. Every atom, every thought, every dream carries both masculine and feminine energy. The masculine is active, focused, and assertive. It pushes forward, it penetrates the unknown. The feminine is receptive, creative, and intuitive. It nurtures life and brings visions into form. These aren't opposites. They are complementary currents, like electricity and magnetism, sun and moon, yin and yang. When you activate both in balance, you become a conscious creator. Think of it this way. The masculine energy sets the intention. The feminine energy gestates and manifests it into reality. Start to observe your own tendencies. Are you always doing hustling, forcing outcomes? You may be too much in the masculine. Or are you stuck in indecision, emotions, or a lack of action? The feminine may be dominant. Practice both. Visualize a goal, then feel it with deep emotion. This is an energetic conception, and it creates reality. Living the Kybalion. The Kybalion isn't just an ancient manuscript written in mystical language. It's a living philosophy, a practical framework to help you become the conscious architect of your reality. It's not enough to understand these principles intellectually. The real magic begins when you apply them. Consistently, courageously, and consciously. So how do you live the Kybalion? Here's how you apply it daily. First, start with introspection. As within, so without. Every transformation begins with self-awareness. Spend 10 minutes a day asking yourself, what emotions ruled me today? What thoughts did I repeat the most? Were they empowering or limiting? Use a journal, not just a vent, but to track patterns. Over time, you'll start noticing recurring beliefs that either expand or sabotage your growth. Think of your mind as sacred ground. If you don't know what's planted there, how can you expect to grow something beautiful? Number 2, use affirmations and visualization. The universe is mental, the principle of mentalism. Your thoughts are vibrational commands to the universe. Every belief, whether conscious or unconscious, becomes a blueprint for your future. Start each morning with this simple affirmation. My thoughts create my world. I choose thoughts that align with my highest good. Now close your eyes. Visualize your ideal life, not as a fantasy, but as if it's already happening. Feel the confidence, the joy, and the peace. Neuroscience shows that the brain can't distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. So when you visualize, you're actually rewiring your neural pathways and aligning your vibration with your desires. You'll have highs and lows, joy and sadness, confidence and doubt. And guess what? That's not failure, it's flow. So when you're down, don't fight it. Rather ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? When you're up, ride the wave, but stay grounded. Your job is not to escape the cycles. It's to understand them and move with them like a dance. Inside you lives a quiet balance. One side thinks, plans, and acts. The other feels, creates, and listens. We're told to choose one, but wholeness comes from honoring both. Take time each week, be still and feel, then move and build. That's where real power lives. When these energies are in harmony, you become magnetic. You don't chase your goals, you attract them. When you live by these principles, when you observe your mind, choose your thoughts, ride the rhythms, honor your duality, and own your choices, something shifts. You no longer feel like life is just happening to you. You realize life is happening through you. You stop trying to control the universe, and instead you begin to flow with it. You've just explored the blueprint of reality, but this is only the beginning. In our last video, we explored the science of near-death experiences, the moment where the soul leaves the body yet consciousness remains. And before that, we uncovered the path to connecting with your higher self, the eternal part of you that whispers truth even in chaos. Today, you've seen the mechanics behind the magic, the universal laws that tie it all together. So if you're ready to master the invisible forces that shape your life, if you want to walk the path between science and spirit, ancient wisdom and modern mind, then this is your space. This is your rhythm. This is your moment within. Subscribe now and meet yourself on the other side of the illusion.